Hey, what's up? What's up, then, people? Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. It's Femi Unfiltered. Today, we're going to be watching something that I find very, very controversial and interesting, and also for us to learn from this. It's something that I stumbled upon on social media the other day, and I feel this conversation is an ongoing conversation, and I think it's long overdue for me to even just talk about it. I mean, for public record, I don't know who cares about my opinion, right? But I mean, I just feel I should talk about it, and I want to know what you guys think also about it. So I don't know when this happened, but it was recently, obviously, because it was a conversation between a Rice TV panel and one of Wiki's media persons, Lere Olayinka, which who we all know, I believe. I don't know what the discussion was, but they were talking about Lere Momodu, and Lere accused Lere Momodu of not being a journalist. And in that moment, this guy from Arise, Oseni, was trying to defend Momodu, saying that Momodu is a journalist and that he's been a journalist for years, and that Larry cannot just say he's not a journalist. But hear what Larry has to say about this, though. Let's hear what Larry has to say about this.
You want the ticket to be sold to the southeast. All these things are just trying to be clever by half.
Okay. I want to set some records straight, and these are facts. I deal with facts alone. Dele Momodu got his first job with African Concord magazine in May 1988. Then he also worked at National Concord, Sunday Concord, Business Concord, and the Yoruba newspaper Ishokon. And afterwards, he went on to Classic, another magazine outfit. At some point, they said he was the highest paid editor in Nigeria. So the assertion that it was a picture book Dele Momodu was making, that's not true, because he only set up Ovation in 1996 after I went on exile. So, and I'm not sure you're going to call the likes of Concord, a prestigious newspaper outfit, a picture book in this country. Fact one, taken out. Secondly, I want you to provide us empirical facts that Dele Momodu is on Atiku Abubakar's pay list. Probably, maybe bank details you are privy to of how he's being paid and other factual evidence to support your claim.
Well, are you done?
Yes, I'm done, sir.
You are done with your facts. But you miss out one fact. You miss out the fact that Dele Momodu went to university to study Yoruba. On a normal thing, when you study Yoruba, what are you supposed to become? Are you not supposed to become something like maybe a teacher, or probably you have studied Yoruba in the process, maybe you are also studying some pastor of FIFA. You're supposed to have become a Babalawo now. So how do you come out and tell me that somebody who did not study journalism, because me, I studied journalism, and that is why I'm saying that for you to be called a journalist, you must have studied journalism somewhere. He did not. Even you that you are talking to me now.
Mr. Olayinka,
Listen,
can I come in?
Listen to me. You brought fact. No, let me finish. You brought out fact. Let me also give you fact. Oseni Rufai, you studied animal anatomy, and you are in Arise as on-air personality. You cannot face me and call yourself a journalist. I won't agree with you because you did not study journalism. I did. Dele Momodu did not. So he cannot face me and tell me that he studied journalism. He's a journalist. I am a journalist. Dele Momodu is not, because he did not study journalism. Simple.
Okay. For purposes of public education, look, what we did, what happened, the people who came before us, Stanley Makebu and all, other leaders in this profession in Nigeria, what they did was to design a multidisciplinary perspective for the practice of Nigerian journalism. And that was why you will find people from various disciplines.
No.
At the Guardian, we had somebody who had a master's degree in architecture who was in charge of housing. We had people who studied science who were in charge of...
That person that studied architecture, yes, can work as a journalist, but still need to obtain at least a degree or a diploma in journalism. So you can't just say, oh, the people in the media space decide that they can invite people from other spaces to come and work as journalists. Of course, yes, you need experts. But if you want to work in a media establishment as a journalist, what the constitution of the NUJ says, which is widely recognized, but even though it's not really enforced, because that's why this conversation is always controversial, because even not just in Nigeria, everywhere in the world, you see people who are just media people, who are just maybe comedians, actors, or just voice actors, but just because they just have this journalistic skills, they just enter the media space. They get employed into big media platforms like maybe CNN, Arise, for example, and just because they are good at what they are doing, they become popular and famous. And before you know, people start calling them, oh, that journalist, that journalist now, Rufai Oseni that works with Arise TV. Like Lere said, Rufai Oseni cannot call himself a journalist because he's not recognized as a professional journalist. Let me read what the constitution of the NUJ says here. Not just even constitution, I know what the constitution says, obviously, I just said it. You have to have a diploma. But this is even like what Google says about it. You can just go on your phone and check just as you're watching this. It's not just I didn't make this up, If you go on Google and just type who is recognized as a professional journalist in Nigeria, and I think it's even like that everywhere, but we are talking about Nigeria in this context. This is what Google says. And I'm not the type that will just believe everything Google says, but because I know this to be a fact, that's why I'm also agreeing with Google here. It says in Nigeria, a professional journalist is generally recognized as someone, and this is highlighted in this context, someone who holds a degree or higher national diploma in journalism, communications, or a related field. So when we're talking about communications or related field, it means if you study mass communication, if you study, let's say, any journalism related course that that just relates to the job you're going to be doing, it means you went to training and learn the code of conduct. You learn all everything that entails, that deals with journalism. That way you can call yourself a professional journalist. There are a lot of journalists these days. There's a lot of people that call themselves journalists these days. But I'm just trying to say that Lere is right. Dele Momodu might be known generally as a journalist, but he can't call himself a journalist. Same as Oseni. If he doesn't have any degree or any kind of diploma in journalism or any related course to journalism. So that's just it. It's a fact. It's not. This is not about sentiment here. There's no need to be emotional about it. If you need to be recognized professionally, even Lere that is talking here, he didn't have the diploma at first. He was online doing his blogging and everything, became popular doing that, and people started calling him that. That journalist now, Lere Olayinka. He started calling himself a journalist, but because he was tackled by the real journalist, the professional journalist, that Mr. Man, you can't just call yourself a journalist because you just start doing blogging and became popular about it. You have to go to get a diploma at least on journalism to be able to call yourself a journalist, and he did. So now today he can boast and say, yeah, someone is not a journalist, and he is a journalist. So, like myself, I studied philosophy, but I went ahead after graduating to study a postgraduate to get a postgraduate diploma in journalism. And today I can call myself a journalist. And I've later worked in big media establishments like the Nigerian Tribune, Legit.ng, and the like. So it's the fact. The fact remains that if you want to be called a professional journalist, you need to study journalism, at least a diploma, even if it's just 1 year diploma that you did, even if you don't have a degree. If you had an high school certificate, like say WAEC or NECO, even if you go and obtain a form at, let's say, IJ or NIJ, and you study just a diploma in journalism, you are qualified to be called a journalist. For you to know how serious the NUA takes this, no matter how big you think you are as a journalist, this person like Rufai Oseni now, as big as he is in the media world, or yeah, let's just say media world, because of course, yeah, he cannot contest to become anybody. He cannot contest to hold any position in the Nigerian Union of Journalists because he will not be recognized because he doesn't have a diploma. At least in general, I don't know if he does now, but I mean, with the way he's talking, he would have mentioned, "Oh, of course, I have a diploma," but he doesn't. It looks like he doesn't. So he cannot hold a position in the Nigerian Union of Journalists because he doesn't have a diploma, no matter how popular or how big you think he is right now. So, I mean, it's not that difficult. It's just like someone who doesn't study medicine or who doesn't study pharmacology or whatever they call it, and because he just sells medication in the buses in Lagos, we have all those people that sell the drugs and medication, and they know which drug is which, and they know which drug, this drug, they know what this medication, what it does, and all those things. Fine, they know the nitty gritty of selling drugs. Even they might even know it better than someone who went to study, pharmaceutical medicine in the university. But you can't tell me that you will believe that person, the person selling the medication in the bus, than someone who went to school to really study the nitty-gritty of medication, because there are things that the person selling it in the bus might not even know, even though he might have experience in selling it. But the person who went to school to study for 4 years, or who went to a professional school where they will teach you everything you need to know about medication, or and all those things, the person selling in the bus cannot say, "Yeah, I'm a pharmacist." No, you can't. You are just a medication hawker. You are not a pharmacist. The person who went to study the course in school is the one that can come out and say, "Yes, I'm a professional pharmacist." That's the person that can be employed to work at at a pharmacy, like, let's say, CVS or the likes. I'm just saying, so there's a difference between these things. We just need to understand it and not confuse ourselves here. If you want to be called a professional journalist, go get a diploma in journalism. If you don't want to get it and you are fine with just being on here and be popular, then you can call yourself an on-air personality. You don't have to call yourself a journalist. You're not a journalist. You're an on-air personality because you are good on air. You are good with your voices. You're a voice actor. You're good for the camera, like the way I'm doing this now. I'm not really, you can tell that I'm not really maybe like a professional on air personality, or I'm just getting to, I will get better, obviously, but I'm just trying to say that, yeah, I'm a journalist, but I might not be, I can even call myself an on-air personality because I'm doing that right now. So anybody can just come into the field and just start doing this. It doesn't protect the integrity of the job. You have to go to school, learn the nitty-gritty of journalism, at least with a diploma. If you have a diploma, they will teach you everything you need to know about journalism, at least to some extent. I mean, at the level of someone who holds a diploma, then on the job you can learn more, because obviously you learn more on the job. Because when I did journalism too, before I even bagged a postgraduate diploma in journalism, I've been practicing journalism for years, even while on campus and everything. After I graduated, I practiced journalism, but it was after I even got a postgraduate diploma in journalism and I got those better opportunities like the one I got with Tribune. That was after that time that I worked as the media assistant to the Attorney General of Ekiti State. And I have my respect when people hear that, after studying philosophy, I get my postgraduate diploma in journalism. They respect me more, because they know that this person knows what he's talking about. And it's just the fact that I knew what I was talking about and I know what I'm talking about right now. So, and it's because I've learned more about journalism and I've gone to school to study journalism. So it's just a fact. You need to get a degree or a diploma in journalism before you call yourself a journalist. So that's just it. That is just it. Thank you guys for watching once again. If you know you've not subscribed to this channel, make sure you click the subscribe button right now or wherever it is. And turn on the notification button when you do that also so that you get to, see whatever video I drop next on this channel. Until next time when we come again, click like on this button, share to your friends and family, let them learn. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.